firemen, 3-4 times as much as teachers. It's just totally out of balance.
The owner of Duke's Barbecue says he's already heard from one of the GM plant suppliers about layoffs there.
It has a trickle-down effect, of course. A lot of people from GM come here on a daily basis at their shift breaks to get food, so we may not see them for a while.
Tens of thousands of writers and actors are currently on strike in Hollywood, and other unions have used the threat of a strike to achieve pay raises this year. What does all this say about unions today?
The unions that exist are wielding some significant power, right? I mean, we've seen it all summer long.
Coming up on KTTC News at 10, some members of the Iowa women's basketball team helping out in one community. Also, workers at Hormel respond to the latest contract offer. Tonight is another big night for local sports as Julian and Nick will bring you another Sports Extra.
Live from your local news leader, this is KTTC News.
And thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Overley. Caitlin Alexander has the night off. Workers at Hormel in Austin give a resounding no to the latest contract offer from Hormel. The United Food and Commercial Workers from the local 663 union voted with a no to what Hormel claims as its last offer. The votes took place at the UFCW Union Hall in Austin. The bargaining committee of the local 663 says in a statement that Hormel's final offer was simply not good enough. They say the workers keep Hormel running and demanding Hormel provide what they call a fair agreement. Hormel's gross profits reached more than $2 billion the past 12 months. The vote comes on the heels of current contract negotiations between United Food and Commercial Worker locals throughout the country and including Hormel. Well, the University of Iowa women's basketball team is giving back to the community. The team helped build a house with Iowa Valley's Habitat for Humanity. It's part of a decades-long collaboration between the team and the nonprofit organization. The players and the coaches did their part to help volunteers install windows, build walls, lay down roofing materials. Representatives with Habitat say having the chance to include the team on projects like this means a lot. Some of the players say it's not only a good opportunity to give back, but to learn more about each other as well.
Really great cause, and you get to do it with people you love, and that's what makes it really fun. But it's giving back to a community that's given you so much, so I think that's the biggest thing for us. Is it's a very simple, kind act that really anybody can come out and do.
The home in Iowa City South District will be going to a family of 3 when it's finished. A bipartisan effort to strengthen Minnesota's armed forces is finally paying off as members of Minnesota's legislative delegation celebrates a new investment into the state. Minneapolis's 133rd Airlift will now get 8 new updated craft, 1 in just 4 in the country to do so. The new state-of-the-art C-130 will arrive sometime between 2026 and 28. Perhaps the most impressive part of the selection, though, was the coordination it took to get it all done. Several Minnesota lawmakers from both sides of the aisle echoed the same sentiment.
This is a task that we all came together on to make sure that when we ask you to defend our nation or go into a disaster zone, that you have the best aircraft that we could possibly give to you.
The new C-130s come with a price tag. Each one will cost $112 million. A North Carolina man has pleaded guilty to a bomb threat near the Library of Congress in August of 2021, months after the January 6 insurrection at the Capitol. He's now been sentenced. Our Washington correspondent Anthony Ford was at that court hearing and brings us the very latest.
The judge sentenced the 52-year-old to 5 years of probation. One of those years includes house arrest, a curfew, and several other stipulations. Floyd Roseberry already served a year of jail time, and that's something that was brought up in the courtroom. Mental illness was a big topic of discussion in the courtroom. The defendant's attorney outlined that Roseberry suffers from bipolar disorder and was not at that time on the right medication when he made several bomb threats, making it clear that Roseberry's incident was not at all connected to the January 6, 2021 insurrection. When the judge asked the government if the defendant still posed as a threat, they said no. But they were clear that further punishment by way of supervised probation was necessary. Ultimately, the judge's decision was based on Roseberry's mental health, but he also mentioned that while Roseberry was serving that sentence in the D.C. jail, he assisted a guard who was being attacked by an inmate. All these factors went into the ultimate decision. As part of Roseberry's sentencing, he is not allowed in the District of Columbia while he is on probation. In Washington, I'm Ashanti Ford.
An update on a construction project happening at a rest stop in our region. Earlier this week, we told you about the temporary closure of the westbound I-90 Marion rest area in Eota for MnDOT crews to make some exterior work improvements. Work was supposed to be done by today. However, the completion date has been pushed back 1 week. The rest area is west of the Highway 42 exit to Eota. It's about 3.5 miles east of Highway 52, that exit to Rochester. We have also an update on a new accessible indoor space for families here in town. Playground equipment is now installed at the Sumsill Indoor Playground. That's off Superior Drive. We stopped by the disability-friendly space to get a sneak peek at how things are going there. The goal is to have this open for families to enjoy sometime in November. Hold on tight. Sports Extra is just around the corner. Julian and Nick will bring us the very latest on local sports. But first, after the break, Nick will have the first alert weather forecast for the weekend.
Missed part of our newscast? KTTC.
Here's your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen.
Yeah, we had some much needed rainfall today in some spots. Hey, even some rainfall accumulations. We had a report from Marion, some Broda up to about a ½ inch in some spots. Here at the studio, about 2/10 of an inch of rain, and that kind of limited our temperatures here today too. Highs just in the mid-60s. We're at 64 today in Rochester with the cloudy skies and the rain cooled air. 70 today in Charles City and in Decorah, so temperatures not too bad across the region. We look outside, we do have some dry conditions at this point in time on our Lucinato live camera. Temperatures at 55, wind out of the south at about 3 miles per hour. Dew points right at 55. Fog will be a possibility here tonight and into tomorrow, maybe even dense in some spots because our temperatures and dew points are right next to each other, so that's leads to condensation down towards the surface, so some fog will be possible. 58 currently still in Mason City. We're still at 61 in Owatonna, Albert Lee, and 60 currently in La Crosse. Here's what to expect. Tomorrow we could actually have some stray storms south of I-90. So northern Iowa kind of missed out on a lot of the rainfall, at least in the morning. Had some showers into the afternoon. They're a little bit more broken than what they were in southeast Minnesota, but a chance for some showers south of I-90 tomorrow. Sunny and seasonal on Sunday. I do think we'll see some sunshine tomorrow too. And then temperatures trending warmer next week, maybe back into the 80s for most of us. Some fog will be possible here by early on Saturday morning. What's happening here is we kind of had that initial front that moved through today. That brought with it the showers that we experienced this morning and into the afternoon. We have another frontal boundary back behind that low and that cold front. This secondary front could spark some of those showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. I got to say, though, my confidence is pretty low overall in this happening, especially how widespread it will be for tomorrow. So watch here on Future Track here tonight. Future Track actually has us getting rain along and to the north of I-90. So we'll keep an eye on that for early Saturday morning. Maybe a spotty shower, but again, low confidence in that as a whole. There's that round of some shower activity tomorrow morning, close to around Highway 18 and maybe even getting into portions of Fillmore and southern Mower counties. That gets out quickly. And then I think we just have some clutter here through the afternoon tomorrow, but again, maybe a stray shower south of I-90. Most of us here I-90 north tomorrow, I think we'll end up staying dry. Models just don't have a very good, at least, agreement if you look at 3-4 different models in terms of our rain chances. We fast forward to Sunday. Couple areas of some patchy fog on Sunday. We'll see some sunshine. High temperatures back into the upper 60s and some lower 70s. So for tomorrow, I think the main threat for rain, again, will be south of I-90. We'll keep an eye on that. I think southeast Minnesota, stray shower early in the morning because we have a lot of condensation down towards the surface. That could be a possibility. We're dry then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We look towards late next week for that chance for some rain by Thursday, extending into Friday. The big thing next week will be the temperatures as we look, and even farther out than that. To end September, we are looking at well above seasonal averages all the way from about the 21st extending through the 29th. What does that mean? probably just looking at middle to upper 70s for highs all the way through the end of September. 51 for the overnight low tonight, mostly cloudy. Stray shower will be possible here tonight. A couple stray showers and thunderstorms, especially south of I-90. Notice Preston, Decorah, Charles City, all could see that rain chance for tomorrow. 7-day forecast here. Here's what we're looking at. I think in most areas in southeast Minnesota, some partly cloudy skies tomorrow. Sunny on Sunday. High temperatures next week, some upper 70s and some lower 80s by Tuesday and Wednesday.
But, you know, no complaints.
Hey, no complaints.
Winter's going to be coming down the pike.
Winter, we will be complaining when it's cold soon.
Of course we will. Hey, don't forget we have morning shows as well now on KTTC. Join us for the only local morning news tomorrow and Sunday at 6 a.m. Of course, right here on KTTC. Sports Extra is up next.
KTTC, celebrating 70 years. Bringing you local teams, highlights, and scores. This is KTTC Sports Extra. Brought to you exclusively by Hiller's Flooring America.
What's going on, friends, and welcome in to Sports Extra. Julie Mitchell alongside Nick Spiliopoulos. We are here at week 3 of the season. Some teams have gotten out to perfect starts. Others looking to build some momentum here.
That's right, Julian. Got a set of rankings out and some great games here on this wet Friday night. We'll start with a team looking to bounce back in 6A.
That's right, Nick. Mayo coming off a home loss last week to Egan, looking to right the ship, get to 2-1 and taking on an 0-2 Farmington team. Mayo's first drive of the game was all Isaiah Beal. Red zone here. He'll score easily on the reach. Such a strong, quick and shifty back. Spartans strike first 7-zip. Farmington trying to answer here, but this Mayo defense was everywhere. Jax Brightonfield there, able to get the QB's legs, bring him down. Spencer Kober helped out there, forcing a punt. Ensuing drive, Reese Grimsrud. He's got an arm. He'll let it fly. And to the defender here, you got mossed. Carter Holcomb, what a grab. Touchdown Mayo. It's a Catch of the Year nominee. 14-0 Spartans. Another Tiger punt here. Riley Thompson gets to it. That'll be a block, and Spartans will take over. Would not score there. When all was said and done out at Spartan Stadium, Mayo gets the win on homecoming, 46-27, the final there from Spartan Stadium. What a game there from Mayo. They right the ship, get to 2-1 heading into week 3. Next, we head out on the hill. Century coming off a solid win in week 2, now hosting second-ranked Chanhassen. We'll join in second quarter. Panthers trail 28-7, and the Storm's coming again. Maxwell Woods just kicking it into another gear, rounding the edge, will score, and then he'll proudly count the number of touchdowns he scored in this one. Yep, 4 is the number. Century not going quietly, though. 4th and 7 in the red zone. Harrison Esau, it's the Jacob Wills. He makes the catch up top. This ball comes out. Does he have it? They'll wrestle for it. Refs, what are we saying? Touchdown, Century. Panthers cutting into the lead. It's 35-14. Century would force a Chanhassen punt here. Now, it's hard to tell. Looks like this is blocked by the Panthers. Century will have great field position. Esau fires again, and this is a dot for Wills. Touchdown, Century. Wills, man, he's just a talent. Senior is an absolute baller. Century went for 2, didn't get it. They get 35-20. A really hard-fought game there for the Panthers. Things got wild here because this final score is unbelievable. Chanhassen at 63-41. Century falls at home there. That's the final score. Elsewhere, Owatonna facing 7th-ranked New Prague. Huskies pull out a great win, 17-7 at home. Owatonna gets the dub there.
So now let's head to the Bear Den. Ben Halder looking to open their 2023 season and the Byron Bears in a 3-0 fashion. It's a week 3 of 2022 rematch that went into overtime. Byron, starting with this one, Winona defense stands tall. That's a turnover on downs, a good stop by Patrick Curtin. On the Windhawks' first offensive play, Dion Prolo fumbles at the line of scrimmage, gets picked up by Jackson Schnell, ball back to the Bears. Bears on the doorstep, and Cale Robinson, QB sneak, puts the Bears on the board first. Now on the point after attempt, Robinson didn't get a good spot down. He rolls out to his right. He's the quarterback, finds Hudson Daly for the unconventional 2-point conversion. Ground and pound, the theme of the night for the Bears. Adam Glynn, the workhorse, breaks off this run, cuts to the outside and into the end zone for the score. Winona shut out tonight at the Bear Den. Byron wins big, 36-0.
Next we go out to Caledonia. The top-ranked Warriors hosting 2-0 Triton. First quarter here, Caledonia up 7-0, looking for more. Ethan Stindl firing over the middle. Looks like that's a good catch, but the ball's out. Triton recovers. Hunter Garnis. Cobras, though, couldn't turn it into points. Caledonia ball here. Stindl, beautiful ball to Beardmore. Gets behind the defense and is off to the races. See you later. Touchdown, Warriors. And this was just the start. Cobras toss this one. Ball gets ripped out of the hands. Owen Dinstad has it, and he will score. Make it 21-0. Caledonia rolling. A little later, Pierce Peterson looking to stop the bleeding. Airs it out, but Dinstad cuts it off. Ooh. And Mama said he's got to be home before the street lights come on. At least that's what my mom always said. He'll run this all the way back to the house. Caledonia rolling in this one as the Warriors come away with a big win. Top-ranked Caledonia 54-7 over Triton. Elsewhere here, Chatfield with a win over St. Charles 55-6. Both Caledonians and Chatfield rolling in their games.
And we do have a final for Pine Island and Cannon Falls. Pine Island shutout tonight, visiting Cannon Falls 49-0. All
right, well, there we go. We are just getting started here on Sports Extra. Still ahead, a big-time matchup in 9-man between Leroy Ostrander and Houston, both undefeated teams.
That one was a barn burner. Plus two 1-1 teams face off as Casson Manorville hosts Austin. Find out who can move to 2-1 after this quick 2-minute timeout. Welcome back. Coach Joel Swanson and his 1-1 Comets hosting the 1-1 Austin Packers. Austin facing third and long. Dakota Retrath airs it out and connects with Isaac Osgood just outside the 10. But this play would be called back due to a hold. Comets defense flying around all night long, make it a long night for the Packers offense. KM offense firing on all cylinders too. Jeremiah Peterson gets to the second level and then some, bouncing outside, energizing the crowd, looking to go the distance, but gets wrangled out of bounds 5 yards out. 2 plays later, Andy Bigelow scampers into the end zone for the Comets. Casson Manorville got to receive the second half kickoff. Absolute electricity. Talk about turning on the Jets. One man to beat and some great blocking. You know it made the tape. That's a touchdown. You know it's a good start to the second half when the quarterback doesn't even have to touch the ball. Austin Packers shut out in Casson 53-0. And Fairmont taking down the Albert Lee Tigers on the road 42-0. And some more scores. Lourdes winning an absolute showdown 28-27. Now Lake City's Keegan Ryan had 10 catches, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he forced 2 fumbles on the defensive side of the ball, showing why he's a commit to the University of North Dakota, plus 88-yard touchdown or kick return on top of that as well. And a Caleb Akimbalu for Lourdes, 75-yard kick return, 21 carries, and 147 yards. So now let's go to Fillmore Central. Falcons offense, Jace Keeney gets the ball punched out by Willie Potter. Ball recovered by the Cardinals' Oliver Lindemann. Never fear, Falcons defense is here. Luke Hellickson sniffed out the screen, leaps into the air, took what's his, and takes it away on the return, unable to score. Flip the field in the second quarter. Jacob Mandoko turns the Cardinals' turnover into 6, not to mention the nasty stiff arm issued on his way to 6. Cardinals had the answer. Elliott Violin on the play action finds Hudson Dillon for the touchdown. Bethlehem Academy opted for the 2-point conversion and would get it to go. Now, Fillmore Central coming out on top, 26-20 on the road at Bethlehem Academy.
Here we go. Now we head out to Kenyon Wanamingo. The Knights welcoming the Cotter Ramblers. Ramblers down in this one. Jack Spidden airs it out to Bobby Sancork. Came up just short of the goal line. Fortunately, nothing came out of it. Knights with the ball back. Big misdirection play coming here. Running back Trent Foss gets a big play out of his own for Kenyon Wanamingo. Stares the safety down, bounces outside, tries to tiptoe his way in. Couldn't manage to stay in bounds there. Dylan Bartell steps in, though, to walk this into the end zone. Untouched, Kenyon Wanamingo score. Just settled out there in this one. No score in from Kenyon Wanamingo. Ramblers, no score from that game yet, no final in. Elsewhere, though, Goodhue with the big win over Rusher Peterson, 33-6. The final score in that one. Couple of stats for Goodhue. Nathan Beck, a pick 6 in that one, and Grant Reed, 134 yards, 3 TDs for Goodhue. On the road, Dover Yoda picks up a win over La Crescent, 44-27 that final, and Lewiston Altura knocking off Hayfield, on the road, 40-8, the final score from that one. Nothing in from Blooming Prairie and Wabasha Kellogg. Lastly, here to a battle of undefeated teams, 10th-ranked Houston playing host to Leroy Ostrander. We'll join in second half of this one. Houston up 21-14 with the ball. QB Morgan Router, man in his face, he still drops a dime. Landon Van Gundy wide open, put 6 on the board. What a throw there. Houston up 28-14. The Cards have an answer. The former reigning athlete of the week, Camden Hungerholt. He's at sees a whole lot of green and a whole lot of glory. Touchdown, Leroy Ostrander. 2-point try, no good, so it's 28-20. Houston to respond on the goal line. Massive pile of people will cross and score for the Hurricanes. You can barely tell who's in there, but it's a score. 2-point was good. 36-20 Houston leading, and Nick, you went out there and talked to him.
Unreal. Unreal. That's all we need to see.
Makes another house call. Had a really great game out there. We do have the final in that one. Leroy Ostrander gets the win, 59-50. What a ball game out there in Houston. Leroy Ostrander coming away with the win. Elsewhere, Spring Grove pulling out wins left and right so far this season. Gets another one against Lanesboro, 13-8. Spring Grove 4-0 on the year, as you see there, ranked second. Other scores, Kingsland 54-14, a win for Kingsland over ACGE. Kingsland's 3-0. Bo Wiersma, 12 carries, 244 yards, 5 TDs. Southland beats Mabel Canton 29-26 in a close one. And Grand Meadow and Edgerton, that is a game that we played tomorrow. That one's going on. All right, what week 3 of action.
Yeah, unbelievable. Don't go anywhere. We still have to show you our KTTC Play of the Week.
Plus, a story from John Marshall Cross Country, how an act of kindness and being a great teammate sparked a larger conversation. That's after the break. Welcome back. What does it mean to be a good teammate? I know I can think of a few things: bringing positive and high energy, working hard, most importantly, supporting your fellow team members. This past weekend at a cross-country meet, a pair of John Marshall Rockets showed just that. Starting is the hardest part. Just ask Abby Tree.
So nerve-wracking because you've got all these people lined up and then you're all like getting ready to start, and then it's like this tunnel where you all go in like this small area.
Specifically for Tree, the most recent start at the Luther Invitational was a difficult one.
Every race, I get so nerve-wracking because I'm like, I have to do well, I have to beat my PR from that last year or whatever.
Dealing with anxiety.
Feeling that it's like, you just don't want to race because you feel like you're going to let everyone down.
The freshman got out to a slower start than normal.
Abby always takes off the first mile of the race, and I don't ever really see her the rest of the race.
Teammate Rhianna Mathis noticed.
It was just a little like, what's she doing back with me? She needs to be up there. She needs to go. She's got this.
As a senior leader and running buddy to Tree, Mathis gave a boost to her fellow Rocket.
She kept snapping at me. She's like, get up here. Nope, you're not quitting. No matter what I was doing, I'm like, I really don't want to do this. And she's like, I don't care. You're going. Come on, right now. She was like sacrificing her time.
I know that's kind of how Abby works. And it's like, I mean, it's a little bit of everything. Like a little bit of, I know you got this. You're going to do amazing. And a little bit of, come on, Abby, you got this.
An act of kindness that's also inspired a conversation around mental health.
I don't think it's necessarily talked about enough in high school sports as maybe in college sports or professional sports, just with the mental health. Like, oh, it's just a high school sport. It doesn't matter. Like, you'll just do whatever. But it's important.
Athletes here, they still feel the same way before race. Like, we all feel nervous. We all get jitters. Like, we all are like super anxious to race. But people think that professional athletes have it differently because they do a professional sport. But in reality, it's kind of all the same with your mental process.
Showing that being there and supportive can go a long way.
When I finished my race, my whole team came up to me. They were like giving me hugs and they're like, you finished! Like, I'm so proud of you, you finished! And I was like, in that moment, I was like, no one actually cares how I do. I'm like, they just want me to be happy in my season. And that was a big oh my gosh, they don't care. No one cares. They just want to see me have fun with my sport.
A big thank you to the both of them for speaking with me, being so honest and open about mental health. Let you know too, these two are excellent runners. Just yesterday at the Mayo Invite, I was out there. Tree finished second, Mathis ninth. Hey, Nick, I think we've got some hockey up next.
You know, it's fantastic to be talking about hockey in September. Matt Hahn shot from the point. That one saved by the Lumberjacks. Netminder, Spencer Klotz attempting a 2-on-1 breakaway. That also gets shut down. Rochester keeping the Lumberjacks off the board. Rochester struck first, but they let 2 in unanswered. They fall 2-1. As for the Austin Bruins home opener, I should say, they won a 1-goal thriller over the New Jersey Titans 4-3. We're back on the gridiron. Winona State took care of business last week against Concordia St. Paul. Their schedule continues with their toughest game to date this season. The Warriors left today heading way up north to Bemidji. This will be their 3rd meeting in the last 2 seasons. Bemidji winning both of the last 2, including the first round of the NCAA D2 playoffs, 31-7. Coach Bergstrom and his team eager for the opportunity.
You know, we're going to be a byproduct of our preparation on Saturday, and we'll find out if it's enough. But I know this. I know that our guys are motivated and that they're focused, and we're going to put our best foot forward.
Winona kicking off with the 10th ranked in the nation Bemidji State Beavers tomorrow at 2 p.m.
All right, Nick, lastly, here's our KTTC play of the week. You saw it earlier. You had to know it was going to be this. Carter Holcomb. Shout out to Randy Moss. This is
straight cash, homie.
Randy's got to see this. This is unbelievable. Holcomb just going. Let me hold that. Carter, I don't know what your middle name is, but I think we may want to change it to him because you are him. This is unbelievable. Shout out to Carter Holcomb for our KTTC play of the week. Baller. Now, before we go, we do have something really exciting here to show.
Yeah, LeBron here at Lourdes High School, and he surprised the student body today. He took to Instagram to shout out Lourdes for the weeks-long hospitality prayers, love and support, quoting his caption on Instagram. Coach Larson opening up the gym for debating here, the GOAT.
I'm still a Jordan guy, but whatever. That doesn't matter. Shout out to LeBron. That's really awesome to see there. Before we go, want to get nominations in for Athlete of the Week. Get those in. That'll be back on Monday once again. Shout out to our crew, Micah Hagan, Chuck Sibley, in production, Tim, Ian, Leah, and I shout out our producer, Steven. Couldn't be here tonight. Got a busy schedule, but shout out to you, Steven. We know you're watching. Love you, buddy.
Pushing up wages and strengthening benefits for everyone. That's why strong unions are critical to a growing economy and growing it from the middle out, the bottom up, not the top down.
The White House is sending Acting Labor Secretary Julie Su and Senior Advisor Gene Sperling to Detroit to support ongoing negotiations, but they cannot get involved directly. Well, at this hour,